What's up guys, Musty Yeti here. In today's video we're going to be starting a new build that's hoping to be a pretty lightweight AR, especially when you consider what I'm going to be starting with, a billet upper and lower receiver. Now billet receivers are known for being stronger but also for being much heavier than your standard forged receiver. Like I said, my goal is to end up with a pretty lightweight AR using a billet set and also have a pretty unique rifle with some of the parts I have in mind. So I hit up the internet in search of a billet receiver set. Quality was a big concern of mine, but also cost. Like you guys, I'm a shooter on a budget, and I really can't afford to spend $200+ on a lower receiver alone. Along with that, the overall look was something I was concerned about. There are quite a few billet receivers out there that have some absolutely hideous machine work, if you ask me. So after spending hours looking around, I came across Working Man's Armory, the lower you see here. It hit all the marks I was looking for. The quality is there, it's a good looking lower, and it's at a price point that anyone can afford. So let's go ahead and jump in, get a closer look at this thing, and talk about it in a little bit more detail. Alright guys, before we talk about the receiver itself, I want to share a little bit about Working Man's Armory. I've dealt with Joel, the owner, a lot over the past few weeks. He is a great guy who spent more of the time than he should have really talking to me about all sorts of things. He's a man that's really passionate about not only ARs, but AKs as well. Joel started out by building AKs and eventually made his way to the AR platform. Not only do they sell upper and lower receivers, but they also sell fully assembled rifles ready to go right out of the box. Joel's goal is to offer the best possible rifle at the lowest cost. One that's reliable, it's accurate, and at a price much lower than your top level companies. Joel himself constructs every rifle by hand in limited quantities from the best parts he can find locally here in the US. Absolutely nothing is imported. They try to buy from smaller companies who might put a little bit more pride in their products than the big boys. But if you guys are in the market for a fully assembled, top quality AR, then go check out Working Man's Armory. Joel's goal is to get a top level rifle to blue collar average Americans out there who normally can't afford a more expensive rifle. Alright, so now about the lower receiver. Now I'm a builder guys, I thoroughly enjoy putting an AR together piece by piece, which is why I chose to purchase just the WMA lower and not the entire rifle. As you guys can see, this is a great looking receiver. It's constructed from 7050 T6 built aluminum. I first noticed the finish, which is much nicer than finishes I've seen on other receiver sets. It does sport a mil-spec 8625 Type 3 hard anodized black finish. Now this finish is black, it's not dark gray like others I've seen as well, and it does have a bit more sheen than your standard receiver. It is really smooth, and I actually talked to Joel about how and why this is so smooth. I was wondering if it was Cerakote, but obviously like I said before, it's hard coat anodized, but they do sandblast these, but they're not as aggressive as other lower receivers on the market, so it does have a smoother feel to it than what you're probably used to. Now for the really nice features of a billet lower receiver besides their strength. This has a captured takedown pin spring, included threaded insert, and hex wrench. That means no more hassling with the end plate and detent spring trying to get those installed. Simply insert your spring, insert your detent, tighten down the threaded insert, and you're good to go. Even better, this lower receiver has a threaded bolt catch pin. Now there's no risk of accidentally hitting or damaging your lower receiver when installing your bolt catch. This lower is notched on the left side to accept badass 45-degree short throw safety selectors, as well as any other selector out there on the market. And as you can see, it has engravings on the side here to accommodate 45, 60, and 90-degree selectors. Inside the receiver here, we also have a upper tensioning screw behind the pistol grip. All you need to do is simply tighten or loosen the screw to adjust the fitment between the upper and lower receiver. We do have an integrated winner trigger guard here. No more dealing with plastic trigger guards and possibly damaging or breaking those tabs on your lower receiver by hammering those roll pins in. It's a large trigger guard, as you can see, and I can see a hand with a glove, a finger easily fitting in there to get to your trigger. Now for the aesthetics of this thing and the machine work. As you guys can see, the machine is very clean. It looks great. We have some finger grooves up here at the front, and this is one spot where I was picky with my choice. Some billet lower receivers out there have some really wacky designs on the front of the magazine wells, which I do not like. I like things to be simple and clean, and WMA lower fits the bill. We have a drop-free magazine well along with a flared bottom lip to make inserting magazines just a little bit easier. And lastly, we have some machine finger rests above and below the mag release. All in all, guys, I am really impressed with the working man's Armory. Not just in the features I listed earlier, but also in its look and touch. I'm really excited to get this rifle put together and see what kind of AR we end up with at the end of this thing. If you guys have any advice or input on parts that are going to help keep that weight down, I'd appreciate some comments down below. I know we've done this before, but I always appreciate input from you guys. It really does help me out. In the next video, we're going to be installing the actual working man's Armory lower that has the ALG trigger in it, which I'm excited to test out. We're also going to be installing the Strike Industries takedown pin and pivot pin, and also the Strike Industries bolt catch. So that'll be the next video. Feel free to check that out when it comes out. If you guys found this video informative, feel free to give it a like. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe. And as usual, guys, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you next time.